Modern astronomers concur with the ancient Mayans. On December 21st, 2012, the Earth will be in exact alignment with the Sun and the center of the Milky Way galaxy, a galactic event that takes place only once every 25,800 years. No one knows what effect this extraordinary alignment will have on the Earth, but the Mayans believed it would be dire.
It might be kind of like a crossing over of the kind of galactic equator. When you go below, south and north, magnetic currents will spin in opposite directions. It might be there's a kind of field effect reversal that takes place once you pass through this galactic equator.
Geophysicists have a theory that is strikingly similar to the events predicted by the Mayan alignment. This phenomenon is called pole shift, in which the entire mantle of the Earth would shift in a matter of days, perhaps hours, changing the position of the North and South Pole, causing worldwide disaster. Earthquakes would rock every continent. Massive tsunamis would inundate coastal cities. It would be the ultimate planetary catastrophe. As unlikely as this theory seems, it is backed by science. Albert Einstein first suggested it in 1955. And a new study from Princeton University reveals that the poles have shifted before. The North Pole rested in the middle of the Pacific 800 million years ago, placing Alaska at the equator. Even if this pole shift took place slowly over years, it would result in global climate change and shifting sea levels. If it took place rapidly, it would mean planet-wide disaster and mass extinction of species.
Seems like it's quite a sizable jolt, Wolf.
Yeah, it was sizable, 5.9, almost 6.0. That's a significant earthquake, about 80 or 90 miles outside of Washington, actually closer to Richmond, Virginia. But we felt it here. We're up on Capitol Hill in our building, CNN Washington, D.C. Bureau. And I was on the eighth floor, and all of a sudden it just started slowly. You felt the ground, the floor moving a little bit. The desk started to shake a little bit. But then you could really feel the pounding, and there was a real jolt, and I'm guessing it landed for 20 or 30 seconds. I immediately suspected, once that happened, that it was an earthquake, although originally I thought maybe there was some construction going on another floor, and that was the situation. But this is an earthquake. We haven't had one here in the Washington, D.C. area in a long time. And as you've been pointing out, Michael, it's been felt all over the eastern seaboard up to New York, Ohio, obviously in Virginia where the epicenter is. So it's a significant earthquake, and I suspect there's going to be significant damage, although we have no reports or injuries or damage right now. But I'm sure that that will unfold in the coming hours. We'll get a full sense of what has happened. But we felt it. We felt it dramatically here in Washington, D.C. There's no doubt about that.
Hey everybody, Dutch Sense here. It is 1:29 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday, August 3rd, 2011. And there was just a 5.3 that occurred in southern Colorado at the same spot where a 4.7 and a 3.0 occurred. So we have 2.9, 3.0, a 4.6, and now a 5.3 in southern Colorado. So this is an area we're going to need to keep an eye on. It's not an area that normally goes and shows a lot of activity, especially with this big of a number. A 5.3 is a moderate earthquake. So we need to keep an eye on the area. And if you live in the area, you definitely felt it. That was probably felt in Denver. So hang in there.
To natural disasters. 2010 was the deadliest in decades. 250,000 people died in super typhoons, landslides, heat waves, earthquakes. In our countdown to 2011, we want to look at the science behind it all and what it means for next year. And Dr. Michio Kaku, physics professor at City University of New York and author of the upcoming book, Physics of the Future, is with us. We're looking forward to your book that's coming out early next year.
Thank you.
FEMA says it was the worst ever, that they responded to more emergencies than they ever had before. How bad was it?
Well, look at the Chilean earthquake. You realize that it was so big it actually rocked the planet Earth. The axis of the Earth shifted 3 inches as a consequence of that 8.8 earthquake. The day is no longer 24 hours. It's been shortened by... actually see this happen, perhaps. San Francisco, Los Angeles, Tokyo, Mexico City, Tehran in Iran. In our lifetimes, we could see one of the great metropolitan areas destroyed. And remember... Completely
destroyed?
Leveled. Remember that 100, 200 years ago, many of our cities were fishing villages. And our populations have expanded into areas that are seismically volatile. So it's not that Mother Nature is angry at us. It's not that the Earth is having its revenge on us. We're being hit with this triple whammy because we are creating mega cities where there used to be fishing villages. Technology is going into areas where we never had technology before, like the volcano that rocked Iceland. Benjamin Franklin actually witnessed a previous eruption in around 1785, but there were no transatlantic flights in the time of Benjamin Franklin.
Which got a lot of attention because a lot of flights had to be diverted because of that volcano, and there was another one this fall in Indonesia. So looking ahead and closer to home, what do you see on that front?
Well, the good news is that the Earth is not angry at us. The bad news is, however, we're going to see more of these events simply because we have more technology to monitor these things. Our megacities are encroaching upon Mother Nature in areas that didn't exist a few hundred years ago. So we're going to actually see more of this kind of seismic activity, more volcanoes, more swings in the weather.
What about Old Faithful?
Well, yeah, believe it or not, underneath Yellowstone is a gigantic super volcano. It has enough energy, packing enough energy to actually blow most of North America apart. We're talking about flooding North America with volcanic ash, destroying huge chunks of the continent of North America. However, the last time it erupted was several 100,000 years ago.
Okay, that's something to keep in mind. Scientists always love talking about the sun. So tell us a little bit more what you see going forward.
Well, we have sunspot cycles every 11 years. That's when the North Pole and the South Pole flip on the sun, creating a shock wave. And in 1859, we had the mother of all solar temper tantrums. In 1859, the Carrington event rocked the Earth with electromagnetic radiation. In Cuba, you could read the newspaper at night with the shining of the aurora borealis in Cuba at night. If we had another Carrington event, which happened 150 years ago, it would cause about $2 trillion in property damage. We physicists have went to Congress and told them we have to reinforce our power stations, reinforce our satellites. We could be wiped out with simultaneous blackouts in 100 cities.
But the bottom line is here, you're saying we don't need to go running for the hills in the new year.
Yeah, some people think, oh my God, we're heading for 2012. I mean, let's quit our...
that we saw.
Right, let's quit our day job, let's sell the house. Don't sell the house. Don't quit your day job yet. We're going to see January 2013. Okay, so no problem there.
We're going to be here. Dr. Kaku, thank you. We always enjoy you coming by to visit us here in the studio. All the best to you in the new year.
Thank you.
And coming up...
Back inside the First Alert Weather Center, Mike Lyons with an update on Hurricane Irene quickly becoming a dangerous storm. Top winds now 100 miles per hour. It's a Category 2, and look how the thunderstorms are just exploding with the system. It's very likely that this will become a Category 3 storm, perhaps as early as tomorrow. The latest suite of computer model guidance is in. It continues to look very good for South Florida. I'll show you the model guidance in just a second. First, the special 8:30 advisory. Winds up to 100 miles per hour, now a Category 2 storm. The computer models, they continue to look good for South Florida. Nearly all of the models now take the storm east. The one outlier continues to be the GFDL, but it continues to shift toward the east. Comprehensive team coverage of Hurricane Irene tonight.